Hello, my lovely people, and welcome today to a peculiar day. At least the weather is quite peculiar. I had to get up very early in the morning to be able to meditate and to prepare all the meals. And it was such a wonderful morning. Whenever I was getting up, I genuinely had a very serious thought that today I will not meditate. I just have too much to do, and today will be a day where there will be no meditation whatsoever. And whenever I got up and I've seen what a wonderful day it is, I actually did get a little bit more motivated just through the fact that I got cheered up a little bit, only because of that. And it was a nice day until I actually got out to work. And since then, a lot have changed. We had the rain, we had snow, we had sun again as well. Scotland, come on. It was also snowing while it was sunshine outside, like at the same time, I mean. So, yeah, like that's not something we should understand. It's just weird. It's peculiar. But, yeah, I did sit Zazen in the morning, and I gotta say it was a great idea for me to extend the amount of time sitting Zazen. Also, it was a good Zazen for me, because for the first time in a while, there was actually peace and quiet for me sitting Zazen. Usually whenever I do sit Zazen, my fiancée, she's like speaking to cats, or she's watching a video, or whatever, or she's playing a video game. And there are all of those noises, language, that's the most important thing, language, that is distracting. And right now, she was still asleep whenever I got up. So it was peace and quiet. And the birds were chirping. And it was great. It was nice. It was actually really nice. Maybe not, Zazen itself as a process. Just this moment. It was nice. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the experience of it. The experience of the moment. That's kind of something I wanted to talk about in today's episode. My friend bought a car. For him, it is a really cool car. He really wanted it. He got it rather cheaply as well. And after buying it, he came back home. He invited some friends, and they were drinking, celebrating, They were celebrating buying a car. And the most peculiar thing about it all, there are so many of very strange things about this very concept. But I think the weirdest one is that they were so happy about something that is a concept. The car was not there physically for them to admire. They were not drinking and bathing in its beauty. They were drinking because they were celebrating a concept of buying a car. Also, this thing, this piece of made out of materials like metal and stuff and plastic. Right now, we agree as a society it belongs to you. Wow, happy. It's all in the head. And then another thing, he was drinking to celebrate it. He was drinking to celebrate it. So basically, he was drugging himself so that the experience of the present moment will be far more difficult and, up to some point, impossible. And instead, the swirl of thoughts in his head could rule without any supervision. Because no consciousness was there. He was not sober. So basically, he dragged a metal box all the way from the other city, got back to his little cave, invited some fellas, and then dragged himself so that the moment that he's so happy in would be way more difficult to experience. And it is because he was not happy because of this moment. He was not happy because of where he were. He was not happy because of anything that was happening at that moment. Not really. He was happy because he had happy thoughts in his head. That's why he was happy. And there are reasons for those happy thoughts to occur, obviously. But the happy thoughts, he just wanted to, be with them for a little while. He wanted to keep them. He wanted to isolate them from the reality. And I can't say that I'll blame him, because whenever I celebrate, I do exactly the same thing. And I am happy of exactly the same things. So I'm not criticizing him. I am just putting him as an example, because this is just happened recently. I don't blame him, because usually the thoughts in your head are so negative. They're so bad. And the body responds to them immediately. The body believes your thoughts without questioning them a slightest bit. That's why whenever you have overwhelming, filled with stress and anxiety thoughts, that is exactly how your body responds. But whenever your thoughts, for some reason, that doesn't happen often, are happy and cheerful and joyful, your body reacts the same way. And that's why often we drink. That's why we drink. To isolate those thoughts from the reality. Not mentioning that, because what I thought about right now is that we're also drinking because of the bad things, right? And I wonder why we drink, because of the bad things. Whenever bad things happen in your life. And maybe because the seriousness of thoughts also ease out a little bit. Even when they're filled with anxiety, they don't seem to be that dangerous. Long-term thinking is turned off whenever you're drunk. You're not planning the future. Not seriously, at least. We are not happy because we are. We are not happy because of our reality. Everybody lives in their heads. Every single person lives in their head. That's something to keep in mind whenever you're involved in some social interactions. You speak with a person, you think that you're in the same world. No, you're not. You hardly speak the same language, because the understanding of separate words is a bit different for everyone as well. Especially if someone is a bloody foreigner, as I am. Everybody lives in their heads, just playing their act because they have to. Funny thing about body responding to thoughts is that you really can't force the body to believe in certain thoughts. The body believes only in unconscious thoughts. That's so weird. That's weird as hell. Sometimes you have a choice. You have an analysis in your head. You have certain thoughts you believe in, certain thoughts that are garbage. Okay, you choose, kind of. But sometimes you have one channel, one stream of thoughts, and there is no other thoughts to argue with them, and they're negative thoughts, and your body instantly believes in them. Becoming anxious, becoming stressed, becoming sad, angry. But when you try to produce these thoughts consciously, and you do some affirmations, telling yourself good things, your body don't believe in that shit for a sec. I had a problem for the past few nights with falling asleep, and it was because I had very anxious thoughts, and I didn't know where they were coming from. So I realized that maybe I should try and think positively instead. Not only, it took quite a lot of effort to force myself to think positively. It also didn't work. It didn't work at all. My body did not believe a single word uttered. Not a single one. And I think it didn't believe because I was present at the moment of arrival of those thoughts, whenever they arose. from the depth of my mind. And I knew that I'm trying to force myself to believe in them. That's a really important part. Because this explains why your body believes instantly in negative thoughts that you did not produce. It is because you are not conscious then. Whenever the thought arrives, you are not there to witness it. You don't see it coming. It goes through the back door. And that's how body believes it. Nobody checks on that thought. There's no bodyguard. Everybody in. Everybody in. And that's how it goes. And it makes so much sense to me that it is like that, because being pessimistic, being negative, did work for us very, very well back in the past. Naval Ravikant speaks about it beautifully. He says that if two people are going through a jungle, and every single time they hear something in the bushes, one of them says it's a tiger, and the other one says it's a rabbit, the one that says it's a tiger and runs away will live. Because 9 times out of 10, it is a rabbit. But 1 time out of 10, it is going to be a tiger. The person that was optimistic and did not run away is going to be eaten. And that's it. The pessimistic person lives, gives its genes, passes its genes over to another generation. And that's how, over millennia, pessimism was glorified as the way to survive. Pessimism was the way. It worked for us very well. Unfortunately, right now, living in times so secure and so good and so easy, like right now, pessimistic thinking only goes in a way. We need to evolve into positively thinking creatures. Because otherwise we won't be able to cope. There is no other way. All the problems we're having in the society currently, considering that we conquered the world, we created a civilization, is negative thoughts. That's the only problem we are really having. There's no other problem in the world. Negative thoughts. Nothing else. People are filled with anxiety, fear, ignorance, anger. Did I say anxiety twice? I think I did. Doesn't matter. Twice anxiety. And that's why they do the things they do. That's how corruption occurs. That's how people are egoistic. That's how things are being destroyed instead of built. That's the thing. But as I mentioned before, you cannot force yourself to think positively. You can't do it because you know you're fooling yourself. Therefore, what about you'll just be conscious of the thoughts that goes through your head? Just be conscious they're getting there. Be conscious whenever you choose to believe them. Whenever you completely miss the moment when the thought occurred in your head, whenever you were not aware enough, and you can only see yourself getting angry, realize that you're getting angry because you didn't realize that the thought visited your head and get in quite deep. And the body believes the thought and reacts responsibly. If you would wish to make yourself sad by producing sad thoughts, and if you would not be sad at all, you would not get sad. If you want to get happy, and you want to get happy by producing positive thoughts, you would not get happy. All this, it cannot happen, because at the moment of producing these thoughts, you are aware. Whenever you're aware, you truly have a choice. Where to go with your life. And how to respond. And how to function in it. Therefore, the evolution of humankind probably should go this way, if we really want to survive. Realizing that the life is happening right now and not in your head. That your head produces far more negative experience than it produces the positive ones. You might be happy at the moment, friend of mine, for buying this car. And I'm not saying for 1 second that it is bad to be happy. I'm not saying that it's bad to be drinking, or celebrating, or meeting with friends, or buying a car, or any of that. Any of that at all. But this is a very rare moment for your mind to produce something actually positive. Default of the mind is to produce negative thoughts. That is how we evolved. That is why the mind is producing so many negative thoughts. It's based on evolution. Pessimism made us survive. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore at all. We need more positive thoughts, but we can't create them, not artificially. Therefore, we have to get conscious. We have to get aware. That's absolutely the only way. And if it's possible, and God, it better be possible, we have to find peace and happiness in the reality, because it cannot be found in a head anymore. Our head, our thoughts, our pessimism got us a long way. We survived. We evolved. It's awesome. It's absolutely wonderful. But right now, we realize where those thoughts were coming from. We realize we don't need them anymore. And we realize that positive thoughts, although this is what we would probably need, it's not really an option. The only option is to get conscious, to get aware, to get above. And it better be some happiness in reality, in simply being alive, in simply breathing, in simply being. Because if there is no happiness in there, we will not survive. We will not survive because the only source of happiness available to us would be reality. Our head won't work for us anymore. Thank you very much, people. You all stay strong. You all fight bravely. Have a good one.